All right, guys, this is Tootie's Table, and we're going to make some gluten-free banana nut bread. And we are going to be using the gluten-free King Arthur brand. This is a measure-to-measure flour, and the only thing that sometimes you have to do with this is add a little more moisture. Most of your gluten-free flours, the alternate flours that they use absorb a lot of the juices or the fluids that you put in, and the liquids, I guess I should say. But this is supposed to be a 1-to-1 as far as how much of the flour that you actually use. All right, so I have a gluten intolerant son, and I like to keep things on hand to make for him, and he's here today. So I'm gonna be making him some of this. And I have some bananas that are next to dead, which is how I like to get them. These babies are really, really ripe. You wouldn't want to just sit down and eat these most likely. We use them for cooking. So the first thing that we're going to do is peel these bananas and mush them all up. I mean, they are ready to just fall right out. It's a beautiful thing for banana nut bread. Okay, so we have peeled 4 bananas. Anywhere from 3 to 5 depending on their size. You probably want the equivalent of about 2 cups of mashed bananas. And I have my oven set preheating for 350. So you could get that all set up as well. And I've just taken my wooden spoon and I'm just mashing these all up nice and proper. And of course, as you add the rest of your ingredients, it's gonna break down even further. So don't be too worried about how mashed they are. You just wanna have them as mushy as possible. And you can see this is pretty mushy. All right, the next thing that we're gonna add is a 1/3 cup of melted butter. And I've already got that ready to go. This is a little more than a half of, a little more than a half of your stick of butter. So it's about a stick and about a 3/4 of your stick, okay? I was having trouble getting that out. All right, so I've got this all melted. We're gonna turn that in and kind of stir it up. All right, we're getting this going. And the next thing we're gonna add is 3/4 cup of sugar. 3/4 cup of sugar. I've got my sugar bag here already. So I'm gonna kind of eyeball it with my 1 cup. And I've got about 3/4 cup of sugar here I'm going to add in. And we're going to add in 1 egg, and I'm gonna beat my egg real quick first. And this is a farm fresh egg. Do you guys like farm fresh eggs? I'm a fan of them. We're just gonna whip this up and pour this right in. 1 egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And these are my really nice little measuring spoons that I like to read to y'all that have the little messages on them. And 1 teaspoon is equivalent to a spoonful of affection, it says. They're little heart shaped, they're cute. I'm not sure where I got them, but we're gonna do 1 teaspoon and then just a little bit more just because I like to add a little bit of extra vanilla. Okay, now we're going to stir this all up, and if you've noticed, it's mostly the wet ingredients plus sugar that we're putting in this bowl. You're gonna need 2 bowls for this recipe. Okay, we're gonna set this aside, and we're going to use this bowl to put in our dry ingredients. So the first thing that we're gonna use is 1.5 cups of the gluten-free measure flour. This is the King Arthur brand, like I told you a moment ago. And so we're gonna go in. We're gonna do the half first because this is a 1/2 cup measuring cup that I'm gonna use. And that is 1/2. And then we're gonna do 2 more of those. just so I'm not dirtying up another one. 1 and 2. Okay, and we're going to put in 3/4 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, and we're going to use this little pinch of joy 3 times because this is a 1/4 and we need 3 of them. So there's 1, 2, and 3. 3/4 baking soda and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now with the salt, I don't even try to measure that. I just kind of put it in. Okay, that's our 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And now we're going to, we're going to use a whisk, and we're going to mix all this up. And then what we're going to do is add this to the wet. Okay. Make sure your dry mix is nice, and which you can even sift this if you want to. I'm just not going to worry about it today. And remember, we're going to check and see if it's moist enough, and if it's not, we might need to add some more butter to it. We're going to see. But we're going to go ahead and add this to it. And we're going to stir this up. We're going to see how this rolls. And if you see this nice mixture, I'm sorry, I'm not putting it where you can see it real good. You can see what it looks like. And I think we're going to be okay. I don't think we're going to need any more, whoops. Making a mess. I always make a mess in the kitchen. Do y'all? Okay. I think it's gonna be all right. Those bananas were nice and juicy, so that's probably what's been in my favor. Okay, making sure I've got all my ingredients in here. Now the last thing that we're gonna do, and this is optional, I'm gonna put in some black walnuts. You don't have to use these, or you may choose to use a different kind of nut. You can use regular walnuts, you can use pecans, you can use anything you want to use, but we're going to use some black walnuts, and I'm just going to put like a little handful in there. You don't want it to be so overrun with it that that's all you taste. And black walnuts do have a little bit stronger flavor than your regular walnuts. So you can see I've got a little handful here. Remember, you can always add, you just can't take away. So we're going to stir this up and see what it looks like. I think we could add just a little bit more. Okay, now I'm going to grease my pan, and I have saved a butter wrapper that had lots of butter. I buy the Amish country real butter. I'm just going to grease. Whoops, this is not the pan that I wanted to use. There we go. I can't find my stoneware pan like this, and so I'm using 2 smaller loaf pans than what I normally would use. So I'm going to split my mix up between the 2. Got to get a little messy with it. Okay, we got 2 of these nice and greased, and now we're going to start pouring it in. And we might have to more evenly distribute the mix, we'll see. scrape your pan and get all that goodness out of there. You don't want to leave anything out. I'm gonna put just a little bit from this pan into this pan. And as you can see, I probably could have done it all in one of these small loaf pans. And that's okay, we'll just have some small banana nut loaves. All right, and these are ready to go in the oven. And I believe that my oven is ready, and it is. We'll let you see the finished product when it comes out. Okay guys, here's a glimpse of the finished product with a little slab of cold Amish butter inside of it. This was amazing. We almost forgot to take a picture of it. We got into this banana nut bread so fast. It is just about gone, but I wanted you to see the finished product.